Hello to Cowboys Nation and welcome to Believe in the Dallas Cowboys to preview an NFL football game.
Yes.
Let's go. If I've got my buttons right, hi, I'm Jeff Cavanaugh, who you can hear on 97.1 The Freak in DFW from 2 to 6 p.m. And he is Jesse Holley, former Cowboys wide receiver who beat the 49ers. Our teams can't do that anymore. Well, until this year. But he did it.
Oh, Jesse Holley went 77 yards. It must be a reality show.
And we, of course, as you know, Jesse, are brought to you by our friends at Bet Online, your number one source for all your betting needs. And if I'd have made a video yesterday or just recorded what I said on the radio, I'd have made all of you money by betting on Detroit last night, baby. Life's hard without weapons. Get the latest odds, lines, matchup reports for every single sport. It's the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers. Bet Online is live betting, casino and card games, all the goods. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember, use promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV. And you get a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts. Hi, Jesse.
What's up, brother? Football is back. Interceptions should count against receivers, tight ends, and running backs when they go through their hands. I'm willing to stand on the mountaintop and shout that as a former wide receiver in the National Football League. If the ball hits your hands or your head or your chest and ends up as an interception, that should go on your stat ledger, not the quarterback.
Yeah, or if that's too complicated and you can't figure out and it's too arbitrary, like how many fingers, if it hits at least 8, yeah, I got to have it. But what if it hits 7? What if it hits 6? What if I was able to get 4 on it? It's tough. But yeah, I would love if you had quarterback interceptions only showed interceptions that weren't deflected by their own player, where it's like QB interceptions, not non-QB interceptions. I would love that. But I love that the fighting Dan Campbells are 1-0.
Yeah. I love how the narrative changes, because had that interception gone the way of Dak Prescott, it would be there's Dak throwing more turnovers again. But now it's like, Patrick Mahomes, he's missing Travis Kelce, and they've already run Kadarius Toney out of Kansas City. They've run him out of Kansas City.
Hey, if you can't catch, you can't play wide receiver.
Yeah, football's back.
Yeah, if you can't catch, you can't play wide receiver. So we got Cowboys Giants. That'll be the Sunday nighter, of course, because the Cowboys just don't get to play noon games because they're too special. They just have to play all the primetime games, just a matter of which version of primetime. I have my matchups to watch in this game split up into 3 different categories, but you tell me, Jesse Holley, what interests you the most? What are you itching on?
Man, I think I said this earlier in the week, but our training camp worries have become our regular season nightmares. The one area of this football team where you thought, boy, we're solid at receiver, and we're solid at linebacker, and we're solid here, we're solid there, and but this offensive line, we are one injury away from this thing being a Josh Ball, Matt Waletzko, and TJ Bass show. And by golly, first we have earlier in the week, Tyler Smith with the hamstring injury gets an MRI. We don't know what grade it is, but we know it's an MRI. There is a hamstring strain in there on the big boy. So he's a game time decision. He is, if he practices Saturday, Mike McCarthy said in his presser that he'll play on Sunday. But we're waiting to see what happens on Saturday. And Saturday, for the most people who do not know, that's a walkthrough. Okay.
Yeah, if you can't walk through, we got a real problem.
Let me make that very, very clear. Saturdays are walkthroughs. They last about 45 minutes. You shower, and if it's a road game like it is for this Cowboys, you get on a plane. So I don't know what they're looking for when it comes to Tyler Smith on Saturday, but ain't no practicing happen on Saturdays, ladies and gentlemen. It's a walkthrough. So if Tyler Smith can't walk through on Saturday, that's a bigger problem than just a Sunday football game. But Tyler Smith aside,
It's okay. It's just a little.
Tyron Smith.
It's just a little. Everybody rolls it a little bit every once in a while. He's fine.
Who is a walking injury report. And I don't like to talk bad about Tyron because Tyron's a good man. He's a wholesome man.
He's a wholesome man.
You know, I don't know his religious beliefs, but I'm gonna say he's a God-fearing man.
I would call him a man of God no matter what his religion is, because
Yes.
that's how kind of a man he is.
He is. He's a barbecuing man. You can find him at your local barbecue store getting pellet grill stuff and utensils. But he is a walking injury report. Tyron Smith rolls his ankle yesterday in practice. He is limited. We'll see what he's doing, what the reports come out, what he does today in practice. So basically right now, the Dallas Cowboys' entire left side of the line, a little limited, a little hampered, a little banged up, heading into a tough matchup. If there is a strength on the New York Football Giants team that they can most likely hang their hat on this season, that's for sure going to show up, it's their defensive line. It's Dexter Lawrence, it's Kayvon Thibodeau, it's Leonard Williams and company. And that's the last thing that you want to have for this Cowboys team. We think they're going to be explosive, and CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks and Tony Pollard and, hell, even some Deuce Vaughn, right?
And some fullback. Don't you take Lipke away.
Well, Lipke.
Get you some fullback.
Hunter Lewinsky. But the thing is, that all gets derailed if you cannot block. And with Wink Martindale and what he wants to do on those pressures, with those twists, with those stunts, with all the confusion things that he wants to do, if you can't hold up front, all that other stuff that the Cowboys have in their favor honestly gets negated.
Yeah, for sure. That'll be very important. Now, I have zero doubt that Tyron is going to play. I'll say this about Tyler Smith. If you have doubts, don't play. And I know that it would suck because of one of the matchups that you would be creating in this game. But this offensive line needs to play together for, 12 to 15 games, not week one. If you're going to go out there on an iffy hamstring, you're going to walk out of there missing 4 to 6. So we're not going out here on iffy hamstrings, Tyler. If you can't do it, you can't do it. And then instead of having a grizzly bear versus a grizzly bear, we'll have a grizzly bear versus a Oregon undrafted free agent or something like that. And that'll be kind of iffy. But I do think the Cowboys are better enough than the Giants that I'll be okay. My prediction doesn't hinge on a Tyler Smith.
I think you're disrespecting the Giants. I
don't care. I don't care. Jesse, I can lay it out for you why I'm disrespecting the Giants. It's not hard.
Please do.
They're okay as hell. Like, okay, so the Giants. There are two things about the Giants that I think from a matchup perspective against the Cowboys, you go, ooh, uh-oh. And that is the running quarterback. Daniel Jones had a 79-yard game in week 3 last year against the Cowboys. So the running quarterback, that's a thing. Mm-hmm. And then the other thing is Dexter Lawrence. Mm-hmm. When he gets lined up over, if you have a backup offensive lineman, that's going to be bad news Bears.
If you have a starting offensive lineman, that may be bad news Bears.
Well, you let him and Zach Martin tussle. Let them have a good time. But I think the number of matchups that is Giants is bigger than that, whether Tyler and Tyron were to play or not. Like, you can take your 3.5 points. Look, here's what you can't do, though. Okay? You're not allowed to hold me accountable because I'm just talking and making words. I refuse any sort of accountability. But 3.5, Cowboys are going to win by 10 because they're a 12-win team 2 years running that upgraded at 2 of the most important positions in football. The quarterback was actually healthy through an entire training camp. And Micah Parsons, I don't remember where I first heard this phrase, but I used it on the radio yesterday, and I didn't know who to give credit to, and I don't care, but I'm going to wear it out. And Micah Parsons is pissed off for greatness. Like, that dude is going to probably be the defensive player of the year, and he might win that thing the next 8 years in a row because he was one of the best players in football last year, and he's noticeably different this year. The Giants... So, matchups that could be a problem. Daniel Jones running and Dexter Lawrence versus Cowboys interior. 1-2. Bang, bang. Problems for the Giants. You're planning on 2 of your 3 starting corners to be rookies in their first NFL game. One's a first rounder, so that's fine. But you're going to have 2 starting rookies against a receiver core of CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, and Michael Gallup. Good luck. Last year, your starting right tackle, Evan Neal, damn near broke NFL records. He had a full-on who was our guy? Who was our guy that gave up 84 sacks in a game?
Chaz Green.
Chaz Green. Evan Neal had a whole Chaz Green experience the last time he saw Tank Lawrence. He gave up 3 sacks and I believe 7 pressures in that game. So that's a problem. Giants don't have a good offensive line. Their quarterback, if you can get him to 3rd and 5 or more, you can run out the punt team because he ain't beating you ever in 3rd and long unless you play man coverage and he takes off running. The Giants don't have enough horses for this thing. And if that's disrespectful, that's fine. Giant fans, fire me an email. Kevin.Turner@iHeartMedia.com. No, it's an NFC East team. It is a team that's got some stuff you worry about, but I'll now take you to another thing. That is one of my, I think this really helps the Giants for the season, but I don't know how much it'll help them against the Cowboys this week. I think Darren Waller is a really nice addition for Daniel Jones. I think having an athletic tight end that you can rely on that's had big years in the NFL, that's nice for a quarterback that is looking for a binky. He wants one. Mm-hmm. And that's Darren Waller. But then I say, okay, what did tight ends do against the Cowboys last year? And the answer is the best of them got about 40 yards a game because J-Ron Kearse is about that life. Mm-hmm. Come get some. I like the matchups. There are a couple that scare me. If Daniel Jones runs for $120 and 2 scores and Dexter Lawrence has a sack and a half and 4 tackles for loss, you could get yourself in trouble. You're better than them. I'm not worried about them. I got to pull up the schedule and figure out somebody I'm worried about. I'm not worried about them.
So let me tell you my concerns, because I too believe that the Cowboys are an overall better football team. I do. I absolutely do. I do not think the Giants are as booty juice as they once were.
They're on the way out of booty juiceville. They are. They're wiping right now.
I think they've gotten their moist towelettes and they've cleaned up back there. I'm not saying that they're all out, out of the water. But the thing that concerns me, and you saw it a little bit last night in the Kansas City-Detroit Lions game, when you're working early in the season for a team that is, I'm not going to say this offense has changed. It's adjusted. It's shifted to a different style. Right? A lot of the terminology is still the same, but a lot of the principles have changed some in what they want to do. None of your starters played together in the preseason. Like that to me bothers me. I'm old school. Get off my lawn. I'm yelling at the sun, whatever.
But I'm still not healthy.
I do, right? But I do think your starters should have some sort of chemistry going into the year. And so those type of things happen where, now do I think we have a Kadarius Toney on our team somewhere? No. But Michael Gallup has had the ball bounce off his hands a time or two before, right? A ball that sails too high on a smaller guy like Brandon Cooks can be problematic. We've heard the one term that we've heard all off season from guys is, man, we got better communicating. We got better communicating. If that communication is off, that can lead to a couple of interceptions. We saw that against this Giants team last year. And that stuff right there, and that Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams matchup with the gimpy, potentially Tyler and Tyron, that can create a problem. Because what I start doing now is I'll go, okay, cool. We're not even going to mess with Zach Martin. For what? We're going to just line everyone else up over here to your left, our right, and confuse or try to overpower or whatever it is these guys who are gimpy. We don't have to deal with Zach Martin. No. Why do we want to go force with force? If all things were being equal, then we'll play it out how we have to play it out. But all things aren't equal. So I'll just take Dexter Lawrence and I'll slide him over a man, and I'll take Leonard Williams and I'll slide him over a man, and I'll have some twists and some stunts with Kayvon Thibodeau, and I'll say, I'm going to check the temperature of this ankle. Okay? Because Tyron, you already weren't as mobile as you once were to be able to get out and move laterally. So we're going to test that. And then young boy on the inside, we know that you're a road grader. You want to get physical and nasty on the inside. So we're going to see if that hamstring is going to hold up for 4 quarters. So those are the type of things that kind of worry me a little bit. And I do believe in coaching. I think Brian Daboll is one of the premier coaches in the National Football League. Daniel Jones being in his second year with Brian Daboll, that's going to create improvement. Again, like I said at the beginning of this soliloquy, I do believe the Cowboys are a much better football team. 100% I do. And they own and have most of the matchups that, in this game today. But I do think there are some things that we just can't gloss over or look over that goes, we could find ourselves in the fourth quarter, man, in a dogfight that may result in the Cowboys winning, but can have themselves in a dogfight against this football team if things, aren't smooth and operating on all cylinders early on in this game.
Cowboys 30, Giants 20.
Oh my God, yeah.
Cowboys 30, Giants 20. Because there is I'm honored and humbled to be in the presence of an NFL player, and I value your takes and your opinions. But the whole time that you're talking about the Cowboys offensive line, I was like, that's fine. The Giants have all their starters and their line's worse. I don't care. The Cowboys have a better pass rush than the Giants do. So yeah, no, you're right. And football's hard, so you never know. And it's a weird shape, so things can happen. But I think we're about to watch a 12-win team play against a 7 or 8-win team, and we're going to know it. And I think that my guy Dak is going to have some fun this year. I think my guy Dak is about to lead the NFC in touchdown passes. My guy Dak has pocket awareness for days. He'll move around. I've decided. I'm not even going to lie about it. I'm rarely super confident with the Cowboys. Like I'm generally confident because they are a good team.
Because you're walking crotch first today, baby.
Right. I'm generally confident going into a season that they'll be a postseason team. This year, I'm confident that they're going to make the playoffs. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
And when they do, if they're playing against a team not named Philadelphia and they have the offensive line, I ain't worried about them either. San Francisco, you could get walked. Minnesota, Seattle, this is a sorry-ass NFC. There's 3 teams in it, and San Francisco is one of them. But you could get it too. Y'all could get it too. You barely won against a team with 1 wide receiver and no running backs. Oh, you could get it too. I'm excited. Cowboys are going to be so good. It feels so good because normally you have to say it very measured. Like, well, it's a nice roster. There's 4 to 6 teams in the NFC that when they play, it'll be a real nice game. This is the first time in a while where I feel like I could just look like this while broadcasting. They're playing the Giants, and the Giants are going to get dog walked.
That's
unless Saquon breaks like 17 tackles and goes for $150 and 2 scores, which could happen. So just tackle. Okay. 30-20 Cowboys. And it might be 33-17. I might be being too kind to New York.
Well, I mean,
who's next? I need to look up the schedule. Who's getting it next?
The Jets come in town next, don't they?
Oh, Jets are getting smoked too, by the way.
Oh.
Boy, you were talking about the most overrated team in the NFL this year. You're talking about the 3rd place finishing New York Jets.
Before the show, I'm taking you guys behind the scenes. Jeff mixed up his drink. I
had it in my Babe Laufenberg inspired Live Like Luke cup, by the way.
Shout out to that. See, now I can't spike on it because you're going to throw the Live Like Luke. Okay. All right.
What were you saying, Jesse?
No, I was going to say.
I'm hyped up.
Yeah, you're a little jacked. I don't know what you would have.
I'm jacked up on Mountain Dew. Come at you like a spider monkey.
Yeah, you are excited today, and I one day aspire to be this excited and confident. It's going to take for me to see it first.
Yeah, it'll be Sunday about 10:30 p.m. You'll be feeling this way, 10:45 maybe.
Because I love the fact that I think that this overall division, the NFC East, is a much better. This is probably the best that this division has been, top to bottom, in a very long time. Like there were times where it was like, all right, man, like we didn't even count the Commanders, we didn't even count the Giants, and it was like, we'll be okay with Philly. I don't think it's that way. Okay, Washington, all right, New York, okay, we know what Philly is, and I haven't seen you this crotch first. And for the division to be better from top to bottom, and you being crotch first, this is going to be But then again, I mean, there's accountability. Who needs that, right?
I'm not allowed to be held accountable. I'm not allowed to be held accountable. I don't do that now. But the thing is the Cowboys have never traded for Brandon Cooks and Stephon Gilmore in an offseason before. That's the world changer.
Okay,
that changes everything. Instead of draft and develop, most years with the Cowboys, you know who would be filling the Brandon Cooks role? They would tell us, and in this case, it might have worked out. They would say, well, that's what Jalen Tolbert's here for. But maybe it would have been, hey, Simi Fijoko's entering year 3. It's time for him to do this. And Deshaun Wright, he's been in this system. He's ready to step in and be that guy. But no, they're pissed off for greatness.
Yeah. All right, let's give our prediction. Well, you already gave your prediction. Let me give
30-20 prediction. Cowboys. It'll be comfortable all night.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit closer than that. I think this game is going to be a lot more competitive than what you make it. I said yesterday, this might be one of those instant classics. This might, when we look back and go, wow, this game was a good football game. I do not think anyone reached the 30-point mark. I just think early in the year, got to work through some things. Cowboys going to win this football game. Cowboys going to win this football game. It's going to have some bright moments. It's going to have some ugly moments. They got to contain Daniel Jones. And they got to contain Daniel Jones. And they have to get home to Daniel Jones. Any Cowboys defensively, any play where Michael Parsons is not going after the quarterback is a wasted rep. I'm going to say that all year long. If you put Michael Parsons coverage, wasted rep. If he's not going forward, it's a wasted rep. So always have him going forward. To your guy, Stephon Gilmore, he's going to have to be on his horse today because they're going to try Jalen Hyatt at least 2 or 3 times with one of those YOLO balls.
Don't put that on my old man. Malik Hooker's supposed to be back there. Malik Hooker needs to be back there.
Malik Hooker's going to be eyeing Darren Waller coming up the seam at him and Jaron Kearse. So I'm just saying, Stephon Gilmore, don't get lazy because they're going to try you. They're going to try the guy who runs 23 miles per hour. They're going to try you a couple times. Trayvon Diggs, they're going to try you with a double move. Don't get greedy because they're going to try to hit the home run ball. If they can hit the home run balls, they can get 2 40-plus yard plays in this football game. It's going to be interesting. But I do have the Cowboys winning this football game a little bit less than you. I want to feel like 21-17, 23-17, 19 in that area right there. But I do have the Cowboys winning this game, starting the year off 1-0, kind of putting people on notice of what they can be, but also seeing a little bit of the rust that they had by not playing their starters in training camp.
Brandon Aubrey, don't miss a kick or the whole world's going to freak out. Okay, buddy?
Yes.
You just go ahead and kick your, what I got, 30 points. I need you to make your 3 extra points and your 3 field goals. Okay. Yeah. I need you to make all of that. All right. We're rocking and rolling. We're ready to go. We're ready to football. That's Jesse Holley. He's a sweet, sweet man. You can find him everywhere.
Yes.
A to Z Sports.
Yes.
Believe in Cowboys.
Yes.
Unfiltered with Jesse Holley. DallasCowboys.com. At
I'm
Mr.
outside.
Fourth and Long on Twitter X.
He's
everywhere.
I'm outside.
I'm
all
just
social medias at Mr. Fourth and Long, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I'm outside.
By the way, I'm on the drive for 35. You have to come up with catchphrases. We're like 100 people away from 35,000 subscribers on YouTube at Jeff Cavanaugh. So we're on the drive for 35. And that's it. And the iHeartRadio app, if you're outside the listening area, 2 to 6 p.m., 97.1 The Freak. You just want to find the Speakeasy. That's me, Mike Reiner, Julie Dobbs, Michael Gruber, kicking ass and taking names. All right, Cowboys going to beat the crap out of the Giants. Y'all enjoy it. Remember, you have no idea what anyone's going through, so be cool to everyone except Giant fans, but don't get violent with them. Just say, hee, you guys aren't very good, stuff like that. We love you. Easy.
Eliminate the contingencies, even if your offensive linemen are hurt.